Not for Peggy. Breaking news. A loneliness epidemic is sweeping the nation. Experts call it a crisis, but Peggy, 91, lives alone and is thriving. Her family worried she'd be lonely after her husband passed. But Peggy's answer? Lonely? Heavens no. I'm perfectly fine. In a world terrified of solitude, Peggy has found happiness in it. Tonight, she shares her 5 secrets to living alone, but never lonely. Let's get after it. Peggy's first secret is simple, yet profound. Know the difference between being alone and being lonely. It's a lesson she learned over many years, and one that changed her life. Many people think that being alone is the same as being lonely, but Peggy discovered that's not true at all. In fact, understanding this difference can transform the way you experience your own company. Alone is a physical state. It simply means no one else is around you. Lonely, on the other hand, is an emotional state, a feeling that can creep in even when you're surrounded by others. You can feel invisible in a crowded room, or completely at peace sitting by yourself. Peggy realized that solitude can be a gift, a chance to recharge and reflect, while loneliness is a longing for connection that isn't being met. Peggy says, "Connection isn't about proximity, it's about being truly seen." She believes that real connection comes from being understood, not just being near others. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments happen in quiet, solitary spaces when you're honest with yourself. After her husband died, Peggy was often surrounded by family and friends. Yet, she felt loneliest during those times because her grief made her feel unseen. It was only when she allowed herself to sit in silence, to listen to her own thoughts, that she began to heal. In solitude, she reconnected with her memories, her dreams, and her sense of self. The real antidote to loneliness, Peggy discovered, is deep connection with yourself first. She started journaling, writing letters to her younger self, and exploring her passions. Through these small acts, she built a relationship with herself that was nurturing and kind. Alone describes your environment. Lonely describes your soul. You can be alone and feel whole, or be in a crowd and feel empty. The difference lies in how you relate to yourself and the world around you. Peggy chose solitude, not as an escape, but as a path to peace. In her quiet moments, she found clarity, acceptance, and a gentle joy that filled her days. She learned that being alone can be a beautiful, empowering experience, one that allows you to truly know yourself. Peggy's second secret: build a routine. A day without a routine is like a house without walls, she says. Her mornings start with opening curtains, brewing coffee, and listening to classical music. Meals, crosswords, reading, and tea time anchor her day. These rituals give her life structure and purpose. Routine isn't restrictive, it's freeing. It saves mental energy and brings accomplishment. Even small rituals like making your bed can ground you. Peggy's routine is her promise to herself, and it keeps her steady. Peggy's third secret is simple, yet deeply meaningful. Have something in your life that truly needs you. This isn't just about filling your days with activity, but about creating a bond, a sense of responsibility, and a reason to look forward to each new morning. For Peggy, that something is Mildred, her rescued tabby cat, who greets her every day with gentle purrs and affectionate nuzzles. Alongside Mildred, Peggy's home is alive with the vibrant green of houseplants, each one a living thing that depends on her care and attention. The simple acts of feeding Mildred, refilling her water, and tending to her plants give Peggy a daily rhythm. These small routines anchor her days, providing structure and a sense of accomplishment. Caring for her cat and her plants gives her a purpose, a reason to get up each day, and a feeling that she is needed. Being needed, even in small ways, is a powerful antidote to loneliness. It reminds us that we matter, that our actions have meaning, and that we are connected to the world around us. Of course, it doesn't have to be a pet or a plant. You can find this sense of purpose by volunteering at a local soup kitchen, helping a neighbor with their groceries, or joining a community garden. Any act of nurturing, whether it's for a person, an animal, or even a patch of earth, can bring the same sense of fulfillment. When you nurture something, your focus shifts outward. Instead of dwelling on your own worries or loneliness, you become part of something bigger. You connect to the ongoing cycle of life, and you see the positive impact you can have, no matter how small. If you're not sure where to start, begin small. Try caring for a single plant, adopting a pet, or taking on a simple responsibility like checking in on a neighbor. These small steps can grow into meaningful routines that enrich your life. In giving care to others, whether they have fur, leaves, or simply need a helping hand, you'll discover a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. Sometimes, the best way to care for yourself is to care for something else. Peggy's fourth secret: choose your people carefully. She keeps a small, meaningful circle: her daughter, a neighbor, and her book club. It's about quality, not quantity. She curates her relationships, investing only in those that bring joy and support. Letting go of draining connections frees up energy for real friendships. One true friend is worth more than 100 acquaintances. Be intentional. Spend time with people who lift you up. Your social energy is precious. Spend it wisely. Peggy's final secret: make peace with yourself. This is perhaps the most profound lesson she's learned over the years. It's not about ignoring your flaws or pretending your past never happened. Instead, it's about embracing every part of your journey, the good and the bad, and recognizing that you are worthy of love and acceptance just as you are. You're the one person you can never leave, so it's essential to learn how to truly enjoy your own company. Peggy discovered that solitude doesn't have to mean loneliness. In fact, it can be a source of deep comfort and creativity. She fills her days with small rituals, reading a favorite book, savoring a cup of tea, or simply sitting quietly and letting her thoughts wander. These moments of stillness help her reconnect with herself and find peace in the present. She practices radical self-acceptance, mistakes, regrets, quirks, and all. Peggy knows that everyone has a past, and everyone has made choices they wish they could change. But instead of dwelling on what can't be undone, she chooses to forgive herself and move forward. She looks at old photographs, not with sadness, but with gratitude for the experiences that shaped her into who she is today. She's shed the shoulds and lives authentically, guided by what brings her peace. No longer does she measure her worth by others' expectations or by society's standards. Instead, she listens to her own heart, arranging her home in ways that make her feel comfortable and safe, and spending time on activities that nourish her soul, like journaling or meditating. Enjoying your own company is a skill, one that takes time and patience to develop. Peggy encourages others to take themselves on dates, to try new things alone, and to celebrate their independence. Whether it's enjoying a delicious meal at a table set just for you, or attending a movie or art exhibit by yourself, these experiences can be deeply fulfilling and empowering. Listen to your needs and trust your intuition. Peggy has learned to check in with herself regularly, asking what she truly wants or needs in any given moment. Sometimes it's rest, sometimes it's adventure, and sometimes it's simply the comfort of a pet's companionship or the warmth of a cup of tea. By honoring her own needs, she's built a life that feels genuine and whole. True contentment comes from within, not from others or achievements. Peggy's happiness isn't dependent on external validation or reaching certain milestones. Instead, she finds joy in the simple act of being present, of noticing the beauty in everyday moments, and of appreciating the person she's become. When you can sit alone and feel at home, you've mastered the art of living alone. It's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Peggy has created a sanctuary within herself, a place she can always return to for comfort and reassurance. The journey is about uncovering the wholeness that's already inside you. Come home to yourself. Remember, peace isn't something you find outside. It's something you nurture within. Peggy's story reminds us all that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Embrace it, cherish it, and let it be the foundation for a life of true contentment. As I packed up to leave, Peggy glanced at the clock. Time for my afternoon tea. Mildred meowed, right on cue, a reminder of routine and purpose. There was no sadness in her goodbye, only calm and contentment. Peggy's life is proof. Being alone isn't the same as being lonely. Be good company for yourself, she said. It's the most important friendship you'll ever have. As I left, I realized her quiet home was overflowing with life.